Hey David, it looked like Tony was skating with the extras. You had everything the same as it was the other night. Is that continued discipline, or is it just because you want to stick with what worked the other night?
Yeah, much more about sticking with what worked. So, the discipline piece is done and over with. So, but you win 5-0 and play the way we did. We want to build off of that.
Next question comes from Dan Rosen with NHL.com. Dan, go ahead.
Yeah, David, 2 questions for you. One, who's starting in goal tomorrow? And 2, that one's a little harder. This one's a little easier. You got Lafreniere now and Kakko. They have Hughes. That's 3 of the top 4 picks in the last 2 years. What do you think this does for the Rangers-Devils rivalry?
Well, the rivalry is always hot and it's always intense. And obviously when you've got 3 young players of that caliber, I think it just spices up a little bit. But, these rivalries have always been about the teams and more than about 1 or 2 players. So, this is no different. Same lineup.
Well, Georgie's in net, okay.
Next question comes from Colin Stevenson, Newsday. Colin, go ahead.
Dave, you made a point of singling out Jacob Saturday night as having played one of his best games as a Ranger and talking up all the things that he did between Thursday and Saturday. He's now played, I guess, with Ryan. Ryan's his 3rd partner since you started training camp. What are you seeing in Jacob? What are you seeing in these various partnerships? How is he adapting to all that stuff? And what do you expect from him?
Expect him to play the way he did, approach the game the way he did. One of the things about him, he always competes. I loved his intentions the other night. Like I said, one of the things that we really benefited from with him was, the way he handled the situation and stepped more into a leadership role after Thursday night. We've talked about that as an organization, as a group, that we need that from a lot of guys, especially guys like him in that age bracket that have been in the league a while but are still young. And, it was just off and on the ice, he did everything we needed him to do, and he was instrumental in us, making such a dramatic switch in our play from Thursday to Saturday.
Next question comes from Larry Brooks of the New York Post. Larry, go ahead.
You had, in the 3rd period, flipped the power play a little bit, moved Buchnevich up, maybe to get him the hat trick or another shot at the hat trick. But is that something you might consider, flipping him and Strome?
Yeah, that's certainly on the table, Larry. Bucci certainly continues to move forward and play at a level that we all know he's capable of. So, that being said, I like both power plays. Even though we won for 8, I thought we had some great chances. We had great looks. We just didn't get a goal. Obviously, we got one at the end there. But, you don't want to overreact. And, last year we had the 7th best power play in the league. So, but certainly the way guys play, switching guys out, we're very fortunate to have, a bunch of power play guys. You could do that. That's something that certainly would be on the table.
Next question comes from Vince Mercogliano. Vince, go ahead.
David, Ryan Strome the other day talked about how you guys last season really had some extreme ups and downs in the first half and didn't find consistency until January or so. So this year with the condensed schedule, is there more urgency to make sure, because we did see extreme ups and downs from game 1 to game 2 already now, is there more urgency to kind of control that and find consistency earlier on here?
Yeah, I think every team is going to try to find that and get that early in the season because of the situation we're in, and we're no different. We need to have a consistent effort every night, consistent intentions, and when you do that, you put yourself in a much better situation to win hockey games. And you can't have the dramatic highs and lows that we had between Thursday and Saturday. Obviously, we don't think Saturday's just a high. We think there's another level we continue to get to. It's early. We've made plenty of mistakes, but one of the things that we did was that we competed, we skated, we're on top of the play, and when you're on the puck the way we were, offensively and defensively, what's going on away from the puck becomes less relevant, because it's difficult for the guy with the puck to do anything with it because of the way you're defending him or forechecking him or staying on top of him. So those are the things that we kind of harped on today. We addressed some structural things we have to get better at, but the good news is we weren't hurt by the structural mistakes we made because we were so hard around the puck. And the other thing is, I thought we managed the puck well. We didn't give it to them in a situation where they were going to take advantage of it. When they did get it, we were in a pretty good position to be in good D-zone structure or transition defense because when we made a turnover and when they possessed it, it was off a scrum or it was below the goal line. It was in situations where we could get back above it and not give up any. The only real odd man rush they had a 2-on-1 in the first period, and Panarin just lost an edge in the neutral zone. So, we did a much better job in that department managing the puck, which allowed us to get in good defensive structure, whether it be in zone or off a transition.
And final question for Coach comes from Larry Brooks.
Again, about the power play, but using Howden there keeps Hedel pretty much off that second unit. And I'm wondering about that, and also, what have your observations been about Phil through the first two games?
Larry, a big part of that is faceoffs, and we've talked to Phil about it. It's hard to, when you got your center out there and you're losing all those draws, he's getting better at it. So Phil Hedel will be back on the power play, as will Capo. I mean, this is a short-term thing. Phil's been doing a great job working on his faceoffs. You might see Phil in there, tomorrow night. So I liked Phil's game much better last night than I did the night before. So I fully expect Phil to be back on the power play. This isn't anything long-term.